Now Ayrshire Radio Podcast presents Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Well, it's time for this week's Local Legend Spotlight, and we have got James Broughton from Cumnock Factory Outlet. James, a massive thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you, thanks for inviting me.
So, before we get started, we want to know a lot more about you. But first of all, it is a Sunday, so a lot of people like a Sunday morning roll, especially at the Cumnock Factory Outlet. So I was to ask you, are you a tea or coffee man?
Coffee.
Tomato sauce or brown sauce?
Brown every time.
And what is your go-to Sunday morning roll?
Sausage link.
There we go, can't beat it. Right, coming up we're going to hear how a dream became a reality for James.
You're listening to Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Now Ayrshire Radio.
So James, I'm going to guess with your accent, it's not a Cumnock accent, so where did you grow up?
I grew up in Mansfield in Nottinghamshire, North Nottinghamshire.
So how did you go from there to Cumnock?
I was involved with the family's shoe retail business, and the premises we've got in Cumnock was used to be a shoe factory, and many years ago, I think it was 94, we opened a factory shoe shop in the factory. The factory wasn't ours, we just ran the shoe shop, and for many years, and then the factory unfortunately ceased trading. Like everything else, it seemed to go to the Far East or whatever, so we ended up with a shoe factory in a shoe factory shop in a shoe factory
with no factory.
So in 2012 we decided to bite the bullet and convert it to a factory outlet as it is today.
So there we go. So very interesting story. I mean, there was a lot of shoes in Cumnock seemed to have quite a big connection. I mean, down at Cape and Acre, I think it was Original Shoe that was in there. You had you guys with the factory shop, where the Cumnock Factory Outlet is. So you mentioned it being a family business. So obviously from Nottinghamshire, what was your first job? Did you always work in the family business from a young age?
I started working in the family business as a child, still at school, just doing things on a Saturday, pairing up shoes and various jobs. Joined the family business in, I think it was 1985, working in the warehouse, working in some of the shops, then became a branch manager, etc.
So, and worked your way through.
Yeah.
So I take it, obviously, with the family business, it was probably always the plan that you would eventually be involved and take over it. So when did that happen, and when did you, are you and your brother together, aren't you?
Yes, we are, yes.
So when did you two take over the business and start running them?
Late 90s, I think. It seemed to be a progressive thing, but I'd say probably late 90s.
So 2012, Cumnock Factory Outlet opened, the place that we know it is today. How does Cumnock Factory Outlet actually operate? So when you go in there, I mean, I've been in many times through working in Cumnock, and you've got the fantastic cafe, but on top of that, you go into this shop and there's just a bit about everything. It's quite a bizarre amount of kind of stock that you've got, but it's a wide range. How does the model work?
We have everything from, as you say, the cafe. It was actually 2013 we actually opened. We started the development in 2012. So we've got the cafe, we've got the homeware, we've got ladies' wear, men's wear, a very small selection of children's wear. We, at a later date, introduced the toys. But most of it is the brands put the stock in and we sell it for them, so they know what sells best. So we just work on their expertise, basically.
Absolutely. So you've got lots of different brands that you partner with. How many different types of brands is there that you work with?
About 60.
And is it big and small brands, or how does the model work to get in your store?
Yes, it's very much big and small. There's somewhere, we've got a few suppliers in there that we are basically their only customer. So, it's a very close involvement. So we get exclusivity. So
there's fantastic, and it's a very, very busy place as well. Mentioning the cafe, I mean, that place is always absolutely booming. I've tried to get in for my lunch and get basically turned back at the door. It's harder to get in there than it is to get some nightclubs.
We have been at times a bit victims of our own success, where we've just basically, I admit, especially when we reopened, we just couldn't cope with the first 2 weeks. We had new equipment. Some of it was faulty. We had some new staff, just teething problems, really. Although saying that, we have won Scottish Shoppers Café of the Year twice.
Tune in live every Sunday from 10 a.m. for Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Only on Now Ayrshire Radio.
Now Ayrshire.
So, James, what was your first big win?
I suppose for the factory outlet, getting the planning permission to turn it into the retail factory outlet it is today.
A bit of a challenge going through all of that, but obviously delighted to get it in from 2013, opening your doors and going from success to success. But I'm going to guess what this is going to be. What would you say your hardest day has been?
The hardest day was in July 2023 when I got a phone call 1:30 in the morning from Shelley, our manageress, to basically say the shop is on fire.
Absolutely devastating. And you know, the sad thing is I've probably had 3 different businesses on Ayrshire Insights alone that have had the devastation of the fire. What went through your head when you got that call?
Firstly, I hope that there was nobody in there because it was in the middle of the night. But just how the hell do we get back from this?
So the shock of the call to them living down south and having to make that drive the next day and travel to the shop. What was your first feeling when you walked in or even drove toward it and just seen the devastation?
I'll be honest with you, I burst into tears as soon as I came up with my colleague Nigel, and we got there, and it was just devastating. It was just there was all the fixtures from the cafe, the remains of them were outside. The fire brigade had took outside, just strewn all over the place. Just sheer devastation. It was far worse than I could ever have imagined. And obviously, as soon as you get the phone call, you have pictures in your mind, and it was far, far worse than I thought it would be.
So obviously, the phone call and going through it, there's a massive rebuild needing to take place from it. How did you feel it went from then to when the point you were able to reopen? What were you able to do? What happened to your staff as well?
The staff I kept on all the way through. So the shop was actually closed for 18 months. It took best part of a year to get all the surveys, structural information, all the relevant paperwork, administration through the insurers, the loss adjusters, solicitors, everything. And the actual rebuild probably took about 8 months. We were shut for 18 months in total, almost to the day.
Absolutely, just a horrible, horrible time. Yes. But must have been really respected by your staff as well, and people that have probably stayed on with you, that you're able to keep them on during that difficult time. Why did you make that decision? Because the staff are the biggest asset we've got. I have huge respect for them, and I think they do for us. And we worked well before, and there was no reason why we couldn't. They were incredibly loyal, hard-working, supportive. While we were shut, if I wanted anything doing, being nearly 280 miles away, I could pick a phone up and say, "Can you just check this?" They all came in, took it in turns to go and check the store weekly, just to check that we'd not had any vandalism or anybody in, or it's a two-way street, I always say, and I look after my staff and they look after me, and it works, and I am incredibly lucky to have such loyal staff. Absolutely, and you're only as good as your staff as well, especially you living far away and not being able to be in every single day. Now, talking about Cumnock as an area. So Cumnock it's slightly out the way in terms of the kind of where we are. I mean, I work in Cumnock, but there's a difference from there, and there's a loyalty for things within Cumnock, for the people of Cumnock as well. How do you feel what's your overall feeling on Cumnock and Ayrshire as a whole? Cumnock's like a second home to me, it really is. I love the people, I love the scenery, it's just everybody's so friendly. We never have any trouble there. As I say, we were shut for 18 months, we didn't have a single bit of trouble from the local community. I just think it's,
it's a superb place. Really, I love coming up here.
And obviously, being in the heart of Cumnock at the factory outlet, when you did get to that point, I mean, it must have been a bit of a relief, but also a massive win for you when you were able to reopen again. How did people support? I know that Ali and Michael from the Breakfast Show were there to help you with the opening, but how was that day for you?
It was absolutely superb. It was just the pride was unbelievable. I mean, we had queues of people queuing up to get into when we opened the store. We caused traffic jams. It was on the radio that it was a nice chaos. The cafe especially was just, I'd never ever seen it so busy. We were, as I say, victims of our own success with that, and the people that did bear with us and unfortunately waited a long time that day. It was just, it's been hopefully onwards and upwards, and we've rectified everything now.
Absolutely. Now, the factory outlet goes beyond Cumnock. There's people from all over, of all generations, that will travel far and wide to attend the outlet. What do you think makes you unique and makes people want to drive the A76, the 40-minute drive, depending where you're coming from, to come to the factory outlet from all over Ayrshire and beyond?
I think just going that extra mile, very good staff, very good customer service, great value. The cafe, as I say, is one Scottish Shoppers Cafe twice. Just making people want to go there, trying to give something to everybody that, for a reason to go. People don't go window shopping at an out of town place like ours is. So they've got to have a reason. They've got to want something. They've got to go for a thing. And we've got to make sure we can give them that thing.
And it is probably more like a day out. I mean, people will go, we can go a little look round the outlet, see if we can get some bargains, bits and bobs, but then get into the cafe, enjoying that meal with family, with friends, and going through it, your afternoon tea, which is absolutely smashing it. You hear about it all the time.
Yeah, that's the best value, I think, anywhere.
Yeah, so you've got all of that, and it's creating a feel where people can go, and as much as it is only really one shop, you can go there like you might be going to one of the bigger shopping centres, because there's a lot of things within that one shop.
We as I say, we try to cater for everybody as much as we can.
What would you say that going through your time, one of the biggest challenges is in running a business?
At the moment, the increasing costs. And added to that at the moment, the fuel price. Again, as I say, we're out of town. People have got to get in the car to go there. The cost of the fuel, as you keep saying on on your radio station about the cost, it's crazy.
And talking about that as well, I mean, another point to make about fuel, we've mentioned it. Now, the cost of fuel obviously hits you if you're driving, and you're driving a diesel, petrol, whatever it may be. But on top of that, it's the logistic cost as well. You're an outlet, you've got a lot of stock that needs to come to you. When it's making that commute and coming to you, that's going to drive the price up. I mean, nothing's for free. So if you've got logistics companies, you've got lorries, you've got deliveries that are coming in, naturally the cost of getting the goods to you is more expensive, which then will impact your price on the shop floor. Yeah,
we try our very best to absorb as much as we can, but sometimes our suppliers, they say that there's a price increase, and as I say, we put that off for as long as possible, and we're absorbing it as much as possible. We've also got the added the national insurance increase, etc. It cripples at times.
When you talk about the employer's national insurance, I mean, that was a massive impact to businesses, small businesses as well, people who are trying to do the right thing, are trying to go through the PAYE route and grow their business, but yet getting that massive cost. How did the employer's NI increases hit you? It must have been quite significant.
Oh, it's very significant, very, very significant. Yeah, it's just something we have to try and put, getting sales increase to counterbalance it. We can't just put prices up every time. We have to try and get the sales up.
And it's one cost of many. I mean, you've got that cost. You've also got the cost of the national minimum wage, which is going up regardless whether you're a minimum wage payer or not.
Yep.
When that goes up, naturally, everybody else in higher pay bands want to go up as well. What's your thoughts, though, on the fact that although national minimum wage has gone up, the tax brackets haven't changed? So you've still got, is it your £12,750 tax free, which in effect, although you're paying a little bit more in terms of your PAYE salaries and minimum wage, you're not really getting the benefit, and the employees not necessarily getting the benefit in line with inflation on the other end with their tax brackets.
No, they're not. They're going, all of a sudden, the more hours they work, they're going into the higher tax brackets. They can't, it's that benefit of the lower tax bracket is getting less and less for them.
It's the hidden one. We're not changing tax brackets, but it's the hidden where it doesn't align with inflation.
Exactly.
Now, James, we've heard about the listeners' tenner bargain of the week, but up next, I'm looking for you to let me know what your bargain of the week is, plus finding out what drives you and Cumnock Factory Outlet to give back locally.
Now streaming
Ayrshire Insights, hosted by Elliot Boyce.
This is Now Ayrshire Radio.
And it's time to talk community charity and Ayrshire Pride. But before we do that, the listeners were in touch earlier on. They were letting us know their bargain of the week. So, James, the question to you, what is your bargain of the week?
The bargain of the week, I always think at Cumnock, is the afternoon tea in the café, $16.95 for two.
There we go.
With an unlimited tea and coffee. So I think it's absolutely superb value. Most of the stock in there is up to 30% off RRP, with a lot dual price showing the RRP and our price, with showing great savings.
There we go. So James's bargain of the week. The only place he shops is the Cumnock Factory Outlet. You've got to get yourself down there. And by the way, you're really starting to sell that afternoon tea. I've got a wedding later on tonight. I might get a wee afternoon tea in between. So James, back to you. Why support, you're an advertiser with us, why support local causes like us at Now Ayrshire Radio?
Because Cumnock's always been good to us, and we do like to give back. Each year we do I think it's an absolutely superb Santa's Grotto. We built a new purpose-built one for this last Christmas, which it's been great. There is a charge for it, but it nowhere near covers the cost of what it costs us. But it's giving back to the community, same as the few local sponsorships we do and charity things. We've the third area of Cumnock especially. We've, given things to the community garden thing down there, and lunches for the kids that go up in the summer or whatever, etc.
Absolutely. You mentioned the Nether Third community garden. It's fantastic. It is brilliant. We've supported down there as well. I think I helped them last year with a fire engine in for their Christmas. They did a kind of Christmas thing in there as well. We got a fire engine down and stuff, but it is really, really good in there, and it's a really nice feeling. And you mentioned Cumnock. Wider Ayrshire as well, but obviously you've been in Cumnock with the outlet. It's a lovely community, and there's a lot of things.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's a lovely, almost like big, huge extended family. When we had the light switch on at Christmas, it's great. The local round table came up, brought Santa up on his sleigh on the back of a tractor. It was superb. Really good atmosphere.
It is good. And now, talking about the local feeling, so obviously you're not from the local area, but you know it well. What would you say that local feeling means to you?
Extremely friendly. Everyone's happy to help. There's no cut thrust. There's no having to watch your back. It's just a really nice, friendly place. It is like coming home, second home kind of, I just love coming up here.
Really good. And you're also, not just that, as part of you coming up, you're also at local hotels as well, and they all look after you.
Yes, it's like it is like a second home.
This is the Ayrshire Insights podcast with Elliot Boyce.
It's now time for 5 fast ones. So James, I don't want you to think about it. Just shout out the first answer that comes into your head. Are you ready to play 5 fast ones?
I am, I think.
Right, let's go. So, favourite takeaway?
Chinese.
A song that always lifts your mood. We'll come back.
And I'm going to come to the Don't Stop Believing.
That's coming soon as well.
Yeah.
Right, best thing about Ayrshire?
The people, the scenery, just love it, everything, really.
And the weirdest moment you've had at work?
I think one of the weirdest moments is probably being asked to dress up as an elf for Santa Christmas grotto.
They like to get you involved.
Yeah.
And who plays you in the movie of your life?
We've decided Michael Keaton.
There we go. Thanks for playing 5 Fast Ones. We're going to be asking our guests every single week to get involved. So, James, what is next for you and for Cumnock Factory Outlet?
To continue to grow, I think for Ayrshire to basically get the credit it deserves, rather than people going out of the area to the bigger cities, to stay in Ayrshire, support Ayrshire, the local community. I think it deserves it. It's got a lot to offer.
Absolutely. Now, for Ayrshire's future, you're right. I mean, there's so much here, including the Cumnock Factory Outlet is one of many, many businesses. I mean, with you as well, there must be a few different businesses that you've worked with the Cumnock Factory Outlet through various things, whether it's hotels or anything else.
Yes, obviously I have to have accommodation up here. I can't drive here and back every day when I'm up here. So I stop at local hotels. The Rad Group especially, always, it's a two-way street, as I said before. They look after me, I look after them by trying to use them as much as I can. Absolutely.
Now, Ayrshire continuing to grow, Cumnock Factory Outlet, a staple within Ayrshire. But the people that must support you, have you got any big shout-outs and thanks before we round this off today, James?
I think especially more than anything to my loyal staff. They're absolutely superb. I can't thank them enough. I know that when I'm not here, the business is in more than capable hands, and they treat it as if it's their own business. And also, just as importantly, all our loyal customers. We have some customers that come in almost every day, especially the café. I'm up here every 2 or 3 weeks. I often see the same faces. I often have a chat with them, and you were in here last time. We're in every day.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
No, they're great. And I mean, the people that get, especially the local people in Cumnock, I'm sure they'll be very quick to let you know what they think.
Oh, very much so, yeah. There's some real characters. I've been told a few times. Yes.
Been told how they think you should have done it.
Yes.
James, a massive thank you for joining us this morning. All the very best for you and Cumnock Factory Outlet.
Thank you for having me.
This is the Ayrshire Insights Podcast.
Never miss an episode. Hit subscribe now.